I have been diagnosed with depression and anxiety since I was about 11, and also PTSD later.
I was dealing with a lot of anxiety that I didn't really know how to manage. I was also just placed into a foster home, and so I was dealing with a lot of different changes.
I was having some internal struggle, dealing with some trauma.
About a week and a half before I was supposed to start school, I had my first surgery to have my colon removed.
I was dealing with some anxiety and depression issues that made it really hard for me to do homework, get to school in the mornings.
I was at like a rough point in my life where I had trouble controlling my emotions because I was overly stressed.
My mom and I were going through an eviction, so it was hard for me to focus on schoolwork at the same time.
I had a really bad concussion, head trauma, traumatic brain injury, whatever you want to call it, the September of my freshman year of high school.
I was taking a lot of honors classes, and so the workload was a lot.
There was just more and more of a backlog building up.
When all of this stress comes into the school environment, I think the reality is students feel very squeezed.
We're all expected to meet this certain standard, and for some people, it's not attainable.
We're expected to compete with each other for top grades.
Then that can lead to students feeling disconnected, isolated.
Sometimes it's really hard to access help.
The mission of the Bryt program is to support students who are struggling, either because of a mental health condition or a medical condition, and the main goal is to help those kids stay in school, functioning, feeling good about themselves.
The Wellesley Bryt program is amazing at reducing the stigma of mental illness in the school by having the conversation on so many levels and making it almost normal. Like everybody, struggles with mental health at one point or another, and these kids just happen to be in crisis right now.
We also provide the clinical support, so I get to meet with the students individually, whether it's in the room for check-ins throughout the day, whether it's in my office for that more intensive therapy work. And then naturally some group work happens when I'm just sitting in the room with them and we're all engaging in conversation together.
Some words that come to mind that capture the spirit of the Bryt program are student-oriented,
Caring,
Calming,
helpful, and supportive.
thoughtful,
Compassionate.
Productive, but fun. The Bryt program helped me grow personally and academically in a lot of meaningful ways.
My time at Bryt was really important because it really helped me start to build my self-confidence back up.
Something that really helped me was being able to meet with my clinician once, twice, 3 times a week, as many times as I needed.
They helped me take a step back and realize what was most important for me to do and the importance of giving my brain the rest that it needed in order to recover.
Just having a listening ear at the high school, someplace that he could go and be with somebody who, if he was having a terrible day, they would listen, students as well as, the program staff.
Queer and trans students especially tend to be a little more sort of ostracized, a little less supported by the general school community, and so the Bryt program is especially important, especially because depression and suicide and self-harm rates among LGBTQ+ students is significantly higher than in the general population.
Every time that I walked into the Bryt room, I always felt welcome. The Bryt room, it was like a kind of secret and sacred space.
There's things over the lights so that they're not as harsh and bright the way most school lights are.
You don't really get a lot of the shouting or noise that you hear in the hallways.
There was just a sense of, wow, these people are really here to help me.
If I didn't have Bryt at my school during my difficult time, I feel like I would never have gotten caught up with my schoolwork, and that would have definitely caused me to just probably give up.
If I did not have Bryt at Brookline High exactly when I had it, for as long as I had it, I would have not graduated on time and maybe not at all.
I think that if I didn't have Bryt at my school when I was having a difficult time, I really would have been lost. I wouldn't have gotten the help that I needed.
I don't know if I would be here. And that might seem hyperbolic, but I would be overwhelmed by the amount of work in the school, and I don't think I could have done it without the counselors at Bryt.
All schools should have a Bryt program because it will benefit students' well-being and mental health.
The Bryt program shows kids that there are people out there that aren't going to judge them for what they've been through.
Every school should have a Bryt program because kids need it.
It's essential.
When I talk to parents whose child is in crisis and has entered the Bryt program, I tell them that this is exactly where their child needs to be and that everything's going to be okay.
Reaching the end of my high school career and looking forward to the graduation ceremony, I survived, I made it through, and I'm doing what makes me happy now, and I actually get to conduct my first piece of music. I get to conduct the whole choir at graduation, and I'm really, really excited for that.